Has a woman ever humiliated you? Near the end of my relationship with one of my now ex-girlfriends, we had gotten into a pretty big argument. Somewhere during the debate, she got fed up and went for my car keys to take my car and drive 3 hours to her parents'. I told her that I would leave my apartment if she wanted to, but while she was absolutely raging, I wasn't going to give her the keys to my car. Firstly, she wasn't on the insurance. Secondly, it was pouring rain outside and she was in a slamming shit, red-faced kind of condition. Lastly, I told her that once she cooled off, she could take my car if she wanted. Again, I offered to leave if that's what she needed. She grabbed my keys anyways and headed for the door. I told her, without blocking the entrance or anything physical, "Look, I'll leave but you can't take my car. You're not even asking and we have no trust between each other anymore." And she walked out the door. From the doorstep, I told her, "I'm going to call the cops if you steal my car. You're not on the insurance. You don't have my permission to take my car. I'll drive you anywhere you want or have someone come get you but you can't take my car." This ex had really bad anger issues, as I'm about to describe. So, she stomps back into the apartment and shuts the door. She then begins to pull up her sleeve and shows me a huge green bruise on her arm. I immediately grew concerned for her and asked how she got it. She told me, "I got angry the other day and did it to myself. But if you call the cops on me for taking your car, I'll tell the cops that you did this." And she motioned at her bruise. I froze but my brain was on overdrive. My mother had warned me as a teenage boy that such a day may come, similar to how a parent warns a child about predators. My heart was racing and I felt absolutely terrified, imagining the police at my door and then taking me away to jail in handcuffs. I asked her, "You'd lie to the cops and say I hit you?" And she said, "Yep. If you call the cops on me for taking your car." Later, when she and I finally broke up, she was irate, throwing my stuff around, screaming, just going absolutely berserk. I called my mother and told her what was going on. And from the phone, she could hear my ex screaming her lungs out at me. I had confided to my mom a few days earlier what had happened with my ex before, and so my mother tells me urgently, "If you don't call the cops, I will." I told my mom, "Why? It's fine. She'll calm down and once she gets her stuff out, it'll be over." My mother replied, "This woman is not okay. And if she calls the cops first and makes up some story like she threatened last time, you're going to get in trouble." So, I called the police. When the two officers arrived, one went to talk to her and the other to me. After telling him that I was essentially calling them in the hopes that maybe they could help calm her down and also provide me a little security that, here I was, trying to keep things civil. Do you know what happened? The following is essentially the conversation I had outside of the apartment with the officer who had originally interviewed me. "Officer, do you have anywhere that you can go?" Me, "Not really. As you might be able to tell from my eyes, I have a viral infection. The ophthalmologist I saw yesterday told me I shouldn't be driving because of my vision." Officer, "What about a friend that can come pick you up?" Me, "All my friends are at work right now." Wait, are you kicking me out? But I called you. Did I do something wrong? Officer, "Look, just leave the apartment and let her pack her things. She said she's getting a ride in a few hours and then she'll be gone." Me, "I literally have a viral infection in my eyes right now. I can barely see and the doctor said I can't drive until the infection goes away. Why do I have to leave my apartment?" Officer, "Oh, I'm not saying you have to leave. I'm saying that if we get another call from one of you, or the neighbors because your girlfriend is yelling, and I have to show up here again, you're probably gonna be the one spending the night in jail. Just saying, that's the way it is." I had to ask a friend who was 30 minutes away to come to interrupt their work time to assist me as a third party while I got some of my essentials out of the apartment before I left for the day. Furthermore, I had to leave my home unattended to her. When I got back that night, my apartment was thrashed. She broke the computer I had built, broke more of my stuff, stole $200 worth of my stuff, and then also took with her the $300 worth of food we had just bought at Costco the day before, and also left me with no money to pay the rent, utilities, or what she owed on her half of the credit card bill. And worst of all, she took both cats we had adopted together and I was the one who woke up every morning at 6:10 a.m. to feed and train. I had called several lawyers and even paid for one consultation but each one told me the same thing. Take it to small claims court, probably won't get anything but the money she owed on the bills but I definitely wouldn't get the cats back because at best, the judge will split them up and or one of you pays the other in adoption fees. She'll most likely end up with the cats unless you're ready to spend a lot of money on court fees they said. At worst, I probably wouldn't get them at all because a judge would believe her word over mine because she's a female and so all she'd have to say is that I let her take them. And then if I mention the cops, that'll make me look more stupid. As I've lived my life, I've always treated women better than men. Opening the door for them, paying for coffee/food even if they're simply a friend, and I'll go out of my way to so much as walk on the opposite side of the street when it's late at night so that way they don't feel scared. I understand now that such special treatment is probably seen as offensive to women because I'm treating them like a delicate woman, but my intentions have never been anything but good. I was raised by a single mother. I observed how much my mom kicked ass as a woman, and so that just made me grow up with a little more admiration and respect for women than I did for men. But on this day, the day where the cops I called are threatening me with jail if I don't leave my own home because I'm a man and she's a woman and she's worth more than me. The day when all I think about is if she's going to pull up a sleeve and fabricate a story to the police about me harming her. The day when I realize a woman's word is worth more in the eyes of society, the media, and the law. I felt humiliated. I thought about all the times as a teenager when I was spreading and promoting feminism before it was trendy. When I was paying for lunches and dinners when I went out with my lady friends simply because they were a woman. When I used to think men were pigs and assholes because that's what other women always gossiped about and I assumed it must be true. And here I was, teetering on the edge of a normal life and a life where I once went to jail because a woman's words were worth more than mine. And then it got worse. She had caused a great deal of drama when we both worked and quit. Her boss had heard about what happened, and I was let go the next day due to poor performance, despite my contract being extended 3 times, getting a Christmas bonus as an intern, and getting a $2,100 annual raise that I didn't even ask for. Due to close connections to people there, I'd later come to learn that I was let go because she was too high risk. Management and/or HR were concerned that she'd come back to bite them with some sexual harassment scandal. To this day, I still feel humiliated. I am too paranoid to be in a room alone with a woman. I'll still do it, but it always crosses my mind that there's a possibility that she could send me to jail for at least the night simply if she wanted to. Yesterday, a friend on Facebook posted a video of women ranting about the prejudices of casting calls in women. I felt humiliated because I thought about what happened to me and how no one speaks up for men. At all. Ever. Everywhere I turn, it's on Facebook, the news, the radio, conversations among friends, in the movies, and on every website women are suffering and men are typically the cause of.